to this Montgomery Video Insight. My name's Scott Phillips, Head of Distribution here at Montgomery. And with me today, I've got Gary Rollo, the Portfolio Manager for Montgomery Small Companies Fund. Gary, welcome.
Thanks, Scott.
Look, EV is a theme that a lot of investors are interested in. But wow, for a long-term theme, there's been a huge amount of volatility. Can you explain to me what's going on?
Sure, big question. The quick answer is, at the back end of last year, the supply of lithium couldn't keep up with demand, and that demand was pulling forward out of China because they had some significant subsidies that were due to expire. So there was a race on to buy the car or manufacture it for sure. And what that did is that peak demand was just sitting on top of the existing supply base. The supply base couldn't react fast enough and you had prices shooting up. That process has come to an end as the subsidies have expired. And we're now left with other forces balancing demand and supply. On the one hand, you've still got a long-term thematic driving the market, but you've got some question marks about the extent or growth of demand in some of the more mature markets because of economic considerations. For instance, Europe's a major market for EVs, but we all know that there's been a change to the economic climate there. So that's a factor that's been driving people's expectations of demand, and with it, the lithium price in the short run.
Okay, so how have you in the Montgomery Small Companies Fund been investing in this theme?
Well, back last year, we could see the conditions that were driving demand, that pull forward of demand, for instance. So we had an overweight on the sector at that point in time, including a developer, so a company that wasn't yet in production, but would have been so very quickly. As we saw those conditions shift and change, we removed the developer from the portfolio and I guess reduced exposure to some of the other names we have. We have some stocks in the portfolio that are producing product just now, and so they're able to monetize in the market. High prices last year, good prices just now, and we think they'll continue to do so, and they've able to turn those prices into significant quantums of cash, and that's how we've been focused on monetizing the very strong pricing regime for lithium that's been out there in the market. Okay,
so some EV stocks generating monster cash piles. What have these businesses been doing with them?
That is a great question. Because this industry is still forming, the major players in the lithium space have got lots of opportunity to reinvest those cash flows to grow their production. For example, you've got Allkem. It's a lithium producer today out of brines in Argentina. It's got projects in Canada and expanding its production in Argentina at the same time. So they're taking their cash flows from their existing production and they are growing their capacity today. And you're seeing that those companies that are producing cash flows today, they are expanding, using those cash flows to expand. So you collect the growth in the industry from the existing producers today.
Okay, thank you, Gary. Look, that's part one of a two-part series looking at the EV theme. Join us for the next episode where we will talk about some of the stocks that we're currently invested in and also what's happening in the M&A side of this interesting long-term theme. Thanks, Gary.
Thanks, Scott.